Good morning and welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. Welcome to this lovely Monday morning after, it's been a hectic few days here, Christmas period and stuff like that. People getting a stomach bug and But let me just quickly go into the chat this morning because I'm doing it on my phone. Verniesel's in the house, Marna's in the house, Maximus, Hondo, all the boys are in the house. But what are we talking about? We're going to do a little bit of football, not a lot on the show this morning. NFL, NBA, a little bit of NHL, darts, and of course a little bit of winter sports. We're not going to get into any rugby because we get into the rugby this afternoon at 4 o'clock Central European time, the DEFCON show, because at 5 o'clock it is the AFCON. It's South Africa against there you go. Put your phone louder. That's a good idea. It's going to be Bafana against Zimbabwe. But let's start at the beginning. First of all, shout out there to everybody. 124,470, close to 125. Can we hit 125 before New Year's Day? That would be fantastic. And because of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. But let's get straight into the football, guys. I will look at the chat at the end of the program. Don't worry. So let's have a look. Look, most of the games you've seen already over the weekend on all our shows. But yesterday it was Sunderland against Leeds, and it was a 1-1. Another good point for Sunderland. Good point for Leeds as well. And then the surprise, maybe Crystal Palace. They had all the opportunities yesterday. They should have beaten Tottenham. But they lost. Spurs winning that one 1-0. What does that mean for the Premier League? Because we're going to have a look at the top half of the table. You will not see Spurs in the top half of the table. But let's have a look there. Arsenal still out in front, but the two informed teams are at the moment, Aston Villa and Man City. If you look at the last 5 games, they've won all of the last 5 games. Arsenal, 4 out of 5. So those are the top 3 teams are definitely in the informed teams in the league. Liverpool starting to come right as well. Chelsea there in 5th, Man United in 6th. I think Liverpool will definitely move up the table, overtake Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa will make top 4, but I think it's between Chelsea, Man United, and I think it's Chelsea, Man United for that 5th spot. I can't see Sunderland, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Fulham keeping up the pace there. So Chelsea, man, you're going to have a big fight out there for that 5th spot. Should be very interesting. Let's have a quick look at the top goal scorer of the Premier League. That is the man called Erling Haaland with 19, followed by Igor Thiago of Brentford and Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth. So Haaland dominating there. Let's have a look at the table just quickly again. Just 1 second. 18 games, he scored 19 goals. So, more than a goal a game. That's quite impressive. That is quite impressive from Erling Haaland. Then let's have a look at the football. There were some games in Italy. Buongiorno tutti. AC Milan thrashed Hellas Verona 3-0. Pulisic with a goal there. Nkunku with another 2. Then Naples beat Cremonese 2-0. There's this guy called Rasmus Højlund. He's scoring goals for fun in Naples. Funny, he couldn't do that for United. Sometimes things just don't work out. Bologna and Sassuolo, they drew 1-1. And Inter beat Atalanta from a goal from Lautaro Martinez there in the 65th minute. So it's we'll do Table Tuesday tomorrow, but not a lot of tables because not a lot of football going on at the moment. Then we move into the big continent there, Africa, the African Cup of Nations, and some good games there last night. Good win for Mozambique against Gabon, 3-2 there. Aubameyang was on the score sheet for Gabon. I forgot that he plays for Gabon. Equatorial Guinea lost to Sudan 1-0. Shout out to Anna, our friend from Sudan. Coco scored he scored an own goal for Equatorial Guinea in the 74th minute, and that was the difference. Algeria beat Burkina Faso, Richard Mahrez scoring the penalty there in the 23rd minute. And the Ivory Coast and Cameroon, they drew 1-1. And once again, Amad Diallo scoring for Ivory Coast. All the goals this AFCON scored by Ivory Coast, all been scored by Amad Diallo, another Man United player. Cameroon there, 1-1. So interesting. But don't forget, today it is Bafana against Zimbabwe. A win and Bafana through to the next round, which we hope will come true. There were some games in the Portuguese Premier Liga. Gil Vicente and Acura drew 2-2. Casa Pia and Victoria Guimarães drew 0-0. Braga and Benfica drew 2-2. What is this? Christmas presents. Everybody's giving everybody points. But no. There you go. Sporting Lisbon thrashed Rio Ave 4-0. So, there's all the football results from the week. But now we're moving to the NFL, and it was a big NFL game day last night. It was an exciting NFL game day, and we've got some unbelievable matchups in the last week of the NFL. But let's have a look what happened. Look, it all started out there on Thursday night already, on Christmas Day there. Cowboys beating the Commanders, the Lions losing to the Vikings, the Broncos beating the Chiefs, Texans and Chargers 20-16. Yesterday, the Bengals thrashed the Cardinals. I can actually put up some statistics to that 1 second. I do have some statistics to that. Here we go. So the Cardinals there, let me get into that. The Cardinals losing the Bengals 37-14. Joe Burrows there with 2 touchdowns, 305 yards. I hope I got it right now. Yeah, the Steelers, that's a bad loss by the Steelers. They're losing to the Browns. Shedeur Sanders had a touchdown in there. Aaron Rodgers looked the shell of himself. No touchdowns. The Saints against the Titans was to be expected, that one. And then the Jaguars, they beat the Colts 23-17. Jaguars, great season so far. Let's have a look at the second half, because that's where it becomes even more interesting. The Buccaneers losing to the Dolphins, another unbelievable loss. The Buccaneers on a 6-game skid at the moment. Then the Patriots thrashing the Jets 42-10. My man Drake May, 5 touchdowns, baby, 256 yards. The Seahawks beating the Panthers. Now, that was a good win for the Seahawks and a bad loss for the Panthers. Had the Panthers won that one, that would have been guaranteed the playoffs, because the Bucs had lost to the Dolphins. They lost 27-10. The Giants beating the Raiders 34-10. The Eagles nipping past the Bills in a boring game 13-12. I actually watched a little bit of that. And the late game, the 49ers and the Bears were in an offensive frenzy, 42-38. Caleb Williams had 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy was on fire. But what does this all mean? What does this all mean for the NFL? We still got one game, of course, the Rams against the Falcons tonight. But what does this mean for the NFL? Well, let's have a look at the standings there. In the National Football Conference, known as the NFC, we know everything except for the last game there. We know that the Eagles are in the playoffs. We know the Bears and the Packers are in the playoffs. We know that the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams are all in the playoffs. And now, the big one, Carolina against Tampa Bay. Funnily enough, the NFL gods have shone upon us, because that is the last game of the regular season. Carolina and Tampa face each other. Winner takes all. Whoever wins is in the playoffs. If Tampa win, they'll be 8-9, and with a negative record, they will get into the playoffs because of the system of the National Football League. So that's going to be epic. And we have exactly the same scenario in the AFC. We have the Patriots, the Bills are in. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Texans are in, and we have the Broncos and the Chargers are in. But the last game of the season, Pittsburgh and the Ravens face off against each other. Winner takes all. I mean, look, basically for those 4 teams that I just mentioned, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens, the playoffs start next week. Because if you win, you're in, and you keep on going, you lose, you're out. So I'm going to try to do both those games, because that's going to be monster. So I'm going to try to do both those games, because they're going to be very exciting. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know what's coming up. Then in the NBA, there were some games last night in the NBA. Let me see if I can get that out there. There you go. The Warriors losing in overtime to the Raptors, 127-141. Stephen Curry with 39 points. Not enough there for the Warriors. Barnes at 23 points, 25 rebounds and 10 assists. Now that is impressive. 25 rebounds in a game. That is very impressive. The 76ers lost to the Thunder, 104-129. Tyrese Maxey with 28 points for the 76ers. Chet Holmgren, the main man there for the Thunder, with 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 block shots. The Grizzlies losing to the Wizards, 112-116. Asar was very good there for the Wizards with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 block shots. Damn, 6 block shots. That's fantastic. Trailblazers beat the Celtics 114-108. Jaylen Brown had 37 points for the Celtics, just not enough. And that young kid there, Avidia, doing really well for the Trailblazers, 24.7 rebounds and 10 assists. The Clippers, the hottest team in the NBA at the moment, they've got the biggest winning streak at the moment with 4. They beat the Pistons 112-99. Kawhi Leonard went off his nut last night. He had 55 points, 11 rebounds and 5 steals. And the Kings lose to the Lakers 101-125. Luka Doncic with 34 points, 7 assists and 3 steals. In that one, DeMar DeRozan did have 22 for the Kings. But I can tell you now, the hottest team in the league is the Clippers. They are coming, man. 4 wins in a row, looking good for them. It's going to be, the NBA is going to be interesting. We'll do the tables tomorrow, of course, Table Tuesday. Then in the NHL, National Hockey League, the Canadiens lost to the Lightning 4-5. The New York Islanders got beaten by the Columbus Blue Jackets 2-4. The Maple Leafs of Toronto lost to the Red Wings of Detroit 3-2. Pittsburgh Penguins beating the Blackhawks 7-3. And the Philadelphia Flyers they're learning because they lost, and you can learn from a loss. No, they lost to the Seattle Kraken, Verns Kraken 4-1. So Kraken doing a little bit better lately. Good result there for the Kraken. Vern will be very happy about that, and we'll give you all the tables once again tomorrow. Then the darts, big darts night last night. I would have liked to have done it, but I wasn't at 100%. And if you're German, look away right now, because it was a horrific night for the Germans. They had 3 guys in there. They were hoping to get somebody to the next round, and all 3 Germans, auf Wiedersehen, ciao. Martin Schindler got thrashed by Ryan Searle 4-0, 1 German out. Damon Hette, the Heat, got knocked off by Rob Cross 4-0. The Australian can go back down under. Gary Anderson came through against James Watimena 4-3. Jean van Veen was sensational. He beat Madas Rasma 4-1. Luke Humphreys, a little bit of a scare there, but he beat Gabriel Clemens, another German, auf Wiedersehen 4-2. And Michael van Gerwen didn't have any problems against the last German, Arno Mack 4-1. The Germans had 4 players in the 3rd round, and they're all gone home. Zu Hause, auf Wiedersehen. You can nach Hause gehen. There you go. But hey, look, and tonight, this is what we're going to look forward to. We will be doing some darts tonight because this afternoon, Justin Hood will take on Ryan Milkel. Ricky Evans will take on Charlie Manby. Nathan Aspinall will take on Kevin Dotz this evening. Some big games here. Josh Rock against Kellen Ritz. James Hurl against Ryan Searle. Hurl and Searle will be there. And Luke Littler against Rob Cross. This could be a potential banana peel for Luke Littler because Rob Cross is playing some serious darts. He has won a world championship, just like Luke Littler. So 2 world champions going at each other. It's going to be very interesting. And then last but not least, a little bit of skiing on the program today. And it was the women's slalom in Semmering in Austria. And again, it was Michaela Schifrin just pipping my Swiss girl there, Camille Rast. Only now 0.09 seconds the difference. Laura Couture of Albania came in 3rd. Then we have a few Austrians, Liensberg and Truppe coming in 4th and 5th. Wendy Holdner with a good 6th place there for Switzerland. 3 Swiss in the top 10 of the women's slalom. That is quite nice. So yeah, that was the women's slalom from yesterday. That was the morning show. That was the Sports Update show. Don't forget, later this afternoon, let me run down what's coming up on this channel. At 4 o'clock, it is the DEFCON Rugby show. At 5 o'clock, it's Bafana against Zimbabwe. And at 8:15, it's going to be the darts. So that's all on today. Then, of course, tomorrow, it's going to be the Premier League prediction show. That should be interesting as well. There's some, tell me about it. There's some basketball coming up as well on the channel. So it's all going off. I think that basketball's tonight. I think Vern's going to do the basketball. I'm going to do the darts. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But we'll let you know. Don't worry. Just hit the like and subscribe button and you will be informed on what's going on. And talking about that, let me just plug it there 1 second. There you go. All good. So that was the short but sweet morning show today. See you tomorrow, Table Tuesday. We'll get into all the tables. We'll talk about things. But we'll see you later. 4 o'clock this afternoon, DEFCON Rugby. That's a date. Ciao, ciao.